I've driven the OMODA 5 for 1,000 kilometers. Don't buy until you see this. If you are looking at that sharp futuristic exterior and thinking this might be your next SUV, you need to pause and watch this entire breakdown, because what I discovered after 1,000 kilometers of real-world testing completely changes the value proposition of this car. Welcome to Supercar, your home for the most honest, unfiltered automotive reviews on the web. Before we dive into the deep end of this investigation, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a chance to see the truth behind the marketing hype. 1,000 kilometers reveals the truth that a 15-minute test drive at the dealership will always hide from you. When you first see the OMODA 5 in the metal, it is genuinely hard not to be impressed. The design language is bold, featuring a massive diamond-cut grille, T-shaped daytime running lights, and a sloping coupe-like silhouette that makes established European and Japanese rivals look a decade old. It is a visual powerhouse that commands attention in every parking lot. However, after living with it for a full 1,000 kilometers, that initial wow factor begins to fade, replaced by a growing awareness of where the budget was focused and where the engineering team might have cut corners to keep that price tag so low. You might think a turbocharged engine guarantees a smooth ride, but the reality of this power unit is far more complicated. Under the hood of our test unit is the 1.6-liter turbocharged petrol engine, producing a respectable 183 horsepower. On paper, a 0 to 100 km/h time of around 7.8 seconds sounds like plenty for a compact SUV. But numbers on a spec sheet don't tell you about refinement. Over the course of my 1,000-kilometer journey, I found this engine to be surprisingly vocal and coarse, especially when you're asking for moderate acceleration. It doesn't hum, it groans. When you combine this with the 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, you get a partnership that feels like two people who speak different languages trying to dance. The gearbox is often hesitant, searching for the right gear while the engine revs impatiently, leading to a disconnected driving sensation that quickly becomes exhausting in heavy traffic. Stop-and-go traffic reveals a critical flaw in the way this car communicates with its own braking system. One of the most frustrating aspects of the OMODA 5 experience surfaced within the first 100 kilometers of city driving. The integration of the auto-stop start system and the electronic handbrake is, quite frankly, poorly calibrated. When you're at a red light and the engine cuts out to save fuel, the re-engagement process is painfully slow. You press the accelerator, the engine fires up with a shudder, and then there is a distinct agonizing pause before the handbrake releases, and the transmission, finally, bites. It results in a jerky, unrefined launch that feels like a learner driver failing to balance the clutch. In a modern vehicle, this level of hesitation isn't just annoying, it's a disruption to the flow of driving that makes every intersection a chore. The OMODA 5 comes standard with beautiful 18 or 19-inch alloy wheels, depending on your trim, which look fantastic but, honestly, contribute to a surprisingly brittle ride. During my long-distance testing, I took the car through a variety of surfaces, from smooth highways to, broken back roads. While it feels composed on a perfectly flat motorway, the moment the tarmac becomes less than ideal, the suspension really loses its composure. It feels unsettled over expansion joints and small potholes, sending vibrations directly through the chassis and, well, right into your seat. There is a noticeable amount of body roll when taking corners at speed, which, when combined with the lack of dampening refinement, makes the car feel far less premium than its sleek interior would actually suggest. Steering is the primary way a driver connects with a vehicle, and in the OMODA 5, that connection feels like a bad Wi-Fi signal. The steering is incredibly light, which is great for navigating tight supermarket parking lots, but as you pick up speed, it fails to gain the necessary weight or feedback. It feels artificial and overly assisted, making it difficult to judge exactly where the front wheels are pointing during mid-corner adjustments. This video game steering feel lacks the mechanical honesty found in many of its competitors, and after several hundred kilometers of highway driving, the constant micro-corrections needed to keep the car centered in the lane became quite tiring. Stepping inside the OMODA 5 is like stepping into a tech showcase. You are greeted by two massive 10.25-inch curved screens that dominate the dashboard, giving the interior a very high-end, minimalist vibe. However, after using the system extensively for 1,000 kilometers, the cracks in the user experience started to show. Almost every major function, including the climate controls, is buried within the touchscreen or controlled by a touch-sensitive panel that offers no tactile feedback. Trying to adjust the temperature or fan speed while driving at 100 kilometers per hour is frustrating and, more importantly, distracting. The software itself can be laggy, and I experienced several instances where the wireless Apple CarPlay would simply refuse to connect until I restarted the entire car. We often say that fashion comes at a price, and in the OMODA 5, that price is paid in rear seat headroom and cargo space. The sloping roofline that looks so good from the outside creates a claustrophobic feeling for taller passengers in the back. During a weekend trip with 4 adults, those in the rear commented on the lack of headroom and the relatively small windows which limit the view out. Furthermore, the boot capacity is significantly smaller than what you'd find in a Hyundai Kona or a Kia Seltos. At roughly 300 to 380 liters depending on the market and measurement, it's just not enough for a family of 4's luggage, forcing you to pack strategically or leave things behind. The OMODA 5 is a car designed to win you over in the first 10 minutes. It wins on the showroom floor with its stunning looks, its high-tech cabin, and its aggressive pricing. But a car is more than a stationary object. It's a tool for your daily life. After 1,000 kilometers, the shine of the new wears off and you are left with the reality of its jerky transmission, its unrefined ride, and its frustrating technology interface. It is an ambitious attempt to disrupt the market, but it lacks the mechanical polish and soul that comes from decades of incremental engineering improvements. My final advice to you is this: don't let the styling blind you to the substance. The OMODA 5 offers a lot of stuff for your money, but the quality of that stuff is inconsistent. If you want a car that looks like the year 2030, and you don't mind the occasional tech glitch or a bumpy ride, then maybe this is for you. But if you value driving dynamics, long-term refinement, and true family practicality, you might find that the value here is only skin deep. Thank you for watching this deep dive on supercar. If this 1,000-kilometer review helped you make a decision, please give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment with your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one.